The night Samantha finally told the truth, the wind outside Diana's hideout felt strange, too quiet, too cold, like the world was holding its breath for a confession that could shatter everything. Diana's hands trembled slightly as Samantha paced the room, her eyes sharp and haunted. She wasn't the same calm woman who arrived earlier. Tonight, she looked like someone who had survived a war nobody else could see. "Diana," she said, her voice thick with both anger and pain. "Those people who attacked your mansion, they're not just criminals. They're a syndicate. A powerful network that traffics young girls, sells drugs, and does every evil you can imagine. And they don't forgive betrayal." Diana swallowed. "Why are they after my family?" Samantha stopped packing. Her jaw tightened. "Because your father crossed them." Diana's heart dropped. Samantha continued. "He pulled out of a major deal with them, a deal worth millions of naira. They saw it as betrayal, a humiliation. So they decided to destroy him and everything he loves." Diana felt a cold wave rush through her. So the attack, the killings, the stalker, everything was because of that. Samantha nodded. "They're brutal, they don't forget." But then her voice broke, not with fear but with rage. "My sister, they kidnapped her, forced her into their dirty jobs. She called me one day and told me everything, every horror, every detail of what they made her do." Samantha's breaths became shaky. But it was already too late. She was sick, dying, and the syndicate left her to rot. Tears streamed silently down her face. "I swore I'd destroy them for what they did," Samantha whispered. "I've been tracking them for months, and Diana, they want you, because they think your father gave you the documents they need." Diana felt her stomach twist. She didn't have the documents, but she knew this syndicate wouldn't believe her. That was when Diana made the decision that would change everything. "I'll go undercover," Diana said quietly. Samantha's eyes snapped up. "What?" "I'll infiltrate them from the inside. I'll gather every detail, every secret, every proof, and bring them down." Samantha stepped closer. "Diana, you don't know how dangerous they are." "I do," Diana whispered. "They killed my guards. They're hunting my family. They murdered your sister. If we don't stop them now, we're all dead." For a moment, both women just stared at each other. Pain, anger, and determination blending in the silence. Then Samantha gave a slow, reluctant nod. "Fine, but you won't go alone. I'll guide you. I know their operations, their weak points, their leaders." Diana inhaled deeply. The weight of what she was about to do pressed on her chest. Samantha leaned closer and whispered, "Welcome to the shadows, Diana. Once you enter, there's no turning back." The night Diana stepped into the syndicate's warehouse disguised as a recruit, she didn't know which would come first, her death, or the truth that would burn the entire empire to the ground. Diana's heart thudded as she walked through the dimly lit warehouse. Men with guns watched every step she took. Samantha had forged her identity, teaching her every code, sign, and rule of the syndicate within 2 sleepless days. Samantha's voice echoed in her ear through a tiny earpiece. "Stay calm. Their leader, General K, is approaching. Don't look afraid." But Diana was afraid. General K was taller than she expected, his cold eyes scanning her soul. "You're the new girl?" he asked with a smirk. Diana nodded. "Good, we have work for you, dangerous work." She swallowed, forcing a brave expression. "I'm ready." What she didn't know was that this would be the first of many tests, each one designed to break her. They pushed her into a ring, surrounded by syndicate members. Her opponent, a woman named Kaima, known for breaking people's bones. "Fight," General K ordered. Kaima attacked first, wild and swift. Diana barely dodged the blow. She remembered Samantha's training, stay low, aim for weakness. Diana struck Kaima's knee, then her jaw, then pinned her down. The crowd roared. General K laughed. "You're stronger than you look." Diana had passed the first test. But she could feel Kaima's eyes burning into her. Kaima wasn't done. Not even close. 3 nights later, during a secret information gathering mission, Diana heard a familiar voice whisper her name. Diana, please don't scream. It was Shola, thin, weak, trembling, and broken. Diana gasped. Shola, you're alive. Shola nodded shamefully, tears in her eyes. I'm sorry, I left you. I messed up. I thought those people loved me, but they used me. Please help me. She was hooked on the drugs the syndicate was forcing on her. Diana hit her quickly. You need rehab, immediately. Shola sobbed and nodded. Please, don't let them kill me. Diana and Samantha smuggled her out that night and placed her in a secured rehabilitation center. But even there, the syndicate wasn't done with her. 2 women disguised as nurses entered her room with a syringe. Diana arrived just in time. You picked the wrong girl today, Diana growled. The room exploded into chaos. Tables flipped, glass shattered. Diana disarmed one woman and slammed her into the wall. The second tried to escape, but Samantha tackled her to the ground. Shola screamed as Diana locked the door. They didn't kill the women, they interrogated them. And what the women said changed everything. There is a mole in the police department, one whispered. He feeds the syndicate information. He told us where Shola was. Samantha stiffened. Someone in the force is protecting them. A new enemy had just emerged. When Shola was moved to a safer rehab outside the city, she held Diana's hand tightly. Diana, please help me, she whispered. I want to start over. They ruined my life. I want to meet my parents, even though they abandoned me. Diana nodded, holding her until she slept. Shola was transferred out of Nigeria that night to a safe program abroad. She cried as she left, but she waved at Diana through the plane window. Diana and Samantha had gathered enough information to cripple the syndicate. Their final task was retrieving the master ledger, a book containing names, accounts, operations, and the identity of their secret police mole. They infiltrated the syndicate's main base, moving quietly through the building. But Kaima, the woman Diana fought earlier, stepped out of the shadows. I knew you weren't one of us. A brutal fight erupted in the hallway. Kaima swung a metal pipe. Diana blocked with her forearm, pain shooting up her arm. She kicked Kaima in the ribs. Kaima slammed Diana against the wall. Blood filled Diana's mouth, but she didn't stop. Finally, Diana flipped Kaima over the railing and she fell 2 floors down. Breathing hard, Diana whispered, I warned you. They reached the control room and found the ledger. But the moment Samantha picked it up, a gunshot echoed. Diana froze. Samantha dropped the ledger, blood spreading across her chest. General K stood behind her, gun smoking. You should have stayed out of this, girl, he hissed. Diana screamed and attacked with everything in her, rage, grief, and pain fueling her. The fight was vicious. Diana disarmed him, slammed his head into a metal table, and forced him down. By the time the police stormed in, she had beaten him unconscious. Samantha smiled weakly from the floor. Diana, you did it. My sister, she can rest now. Her eyes slowly faded. Diana held her and cried until her voice broke. The ledger exposed everything. The syndicate leaders, the trafficking routes, the bank accounts, and finally, the identity of the police mole. Inspector Tund Ario, the same officer who promised Diana full protection months ago. When confronted, he smirked coldly. You can't stop us. But Diana slammed the ledger on the table. You're done. He was arrested on the spot. The syndicate fell apart. Families were freed. Shola completed rehab and was reunited, painfully, with her long-forgotten parents. She promised Diana she would rebuild her life. And Diana stood at Samantha's grave one evening and whispered, We won, rest now. As she walked away, she knew her life would never be the same, but she had become something stronger. A survivor. A fighter. A woman who walked through hell and came out with fire in her eyes.